A massive train derailment and tanker car explosion back in 2013 hit a small town in Quebec very hard. Now, according to multiple reports, some big oil companies have contributed $345 million toward a fund to compensate victims of that disaster. The creation of the fund is not common, but there's a reason why the energy companies are doing it. Morgan Brennan has more.
It's been almost 2 years since 47 people died in northeastern Canada, the result of a fiery derailment involving a train moving highly volatile crude oil from North Dakota's Bakken Shale formation. Now, energy companies hoping to avoid expensive and lengthy litigation have agreed to pay into a $345 million fund for victims of the accident in Lac Megantic. The Wall Street Journal reports Royal Dutch Shell, Marathon Oil, and ConocoPhillips and others have already contributed tens of millions of dollars. Train derailments are usually blamed on the railroad carrier, in this case, Montreal, Maine and Atlantic Railway. Following the accident, the company sought bankruptcy protection. Now, if the fund is approved by U.S. and Canadian courts, the energy companies would be shielded from a number of lawsuits claiming wrongful death and negligence. According to the report, Marathon Oil, based in Houston, said a decision to contribute did not constitute an acknowledgement of liability. And other companies involved have said their responsibility ended once the crude was pumped out of the ground and properly labeled.
You have some companies who are trying to preempt, eliminate additional liability at a later date, and they think they'll be positively viewed if they can go back and say, look, we long ago made contributions to help these victims of this horrible accident.
Nearly 1 million barrels of oil are loaded onto trains each day in North America, even with the drop in crew carloads caused by lower oil prices. That's up from almost none before 2009. Since the accident in Canada, there have been almost a dozen others involving North Dakota crude, which is highly flammable, though none caused any fatalities. Railroads are usually targeted in derailment cases, but some U.S. officials have complained that companies could be doing more to make their oil safer by stripping out volatile gases before loading it onto trains. It all sets the stage for what could become the next legal and regulatory battleground for crude by rail, one that would require more safeguards on the product itself and hold not just railroads, but energy companies responsible as well. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Morgan Brennan.